We generally track our lives by chronological age. It is an absolute, fixed measurement of time, the total number of years you have been alive. It is a scalar metric that only moves in one direction. But there is a second, far more useful metric, biological age. This is a dynamic measurement of how well your cellular and organ systems actually function. Unlike the calendar, it can move in reverse. Two people can both be 60 years old on paper, yet through differing lifestyle factors and cellular health, one might possess the physiological capacity of a 45-year-old, while the other shows the severe cellular wear of a 75-year-old. Biological aging is not a process of passive decay. It is a highly responsive physiological state, governed by specific, measurable biomarkers that we can influence. Relying on birthdays to predict your health span is an ineffective strategy. To alter the trajectory of our health, we have to track and manipulate the invisible vital signs driving the aging process. The first driver of biological aging is cellular senescence. Over time, your body accumulates damaged organelles and misfolded proteins, cellular junk that impairs normal function. The second driver is structural decline. This presents as sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass, coupled with systemic metabolic inflexibility, where the body loses its ability to efficiently process fuel. Effectively addressing these two vectors requires two specific and counterbalancing physiological interventions. Countering senescence requires inducing periods of targeted catabolic stress. This signals the body to initiate a deep clean of the accumulated cellular debris. To halt structural decline, the body requires a consistent anabolic mechanical stimulus to preserve muscle tissue and cardiovascular capacity. Longevity optimization is a precise balancing act. We must repeatedly trigger catabolic cellular repair and anabolic structural growth without overwhelming the system's ability to recover. The mechanism driving catabolic repair is called autophagy. It is the body's built-in survival and internal recycling program, activated when nutrient energy is scarce. Autophagy is controlled by two primary metabolic switches. The first is mTOR, the growth pathway. When you eat protein and carbohydrates, mTOR is active, instructing your cells to grow and divide. The second switch is AMPK, the cell's energy sensor. When cellular fuel levels drop, AMPK activates to secure alternative energy. These pathways operate in an inverse relationship. High mTOR activity from constant feeding completely suppresses autophagy. The body remains locked in an anabolic, growth-only state, allowing damaged cells to accumulate. When you initiate a fast, the balance flips. Activating AMPK suppresses mTOR, which signals your cells to hunt down damaged proteins and misfolded organelles to break them down for fuel. While standard intermittent fasting provides baseline metabolic benefits, driving deep, systemic cellular repair requires a prolonged, multi-day fast. The objective is not starvation. It is the deliberate, precise suppression of mTOR to trigger a biological deep clean. Crucially, autophagy is not an instant on or off mechanism. It operates like a dimmer switch that slowly ramps up over time. This chart maps the physiology of a 72-hour fast. Between hours 12 and 24, the body enters a catabolic transition. Liver glycogen runs out, and insulin levels begin to drop significantly. Moving into hours 24 to 48, the ketosis shift occurs. With glycogen depleted, the liver converts fatty acids into ketones for fuel, causing a surge in AMPK activation. By hours 48 to 72, you reach peak autophagy. Insulin is bottomed out, creating the optimal environment for maximum cellular repair. Since you cannot physically feel a cell recycling itself, how do we objectively verify that this process is actually happening? We track it using the Glucose-Ketone Index, or GKI. By measuring the ratio between your blood glucose and blood ketones, the GKI provides a quantifiable proxy metric for deep autophagy. For a 72-hour fast, the specific clinical target is reaching a GKI score between 1.0 and 3.0 by days 2 and 3. This indicates high therapeutic ketosis. The GKI metric takes the abstract concept of cellular repair and turns it into a precise, trackable data point. This brings us to a physiological paradox. Prolonged catabolic fasting carries the inherent risk of breaking down functional, lean muscle tissue. To protect your structural biological age, that catabolic fast must be countered with a powerful anabolic mechanical stimulus. For decades, standard sports medicine doctrine dictated that preserving muscle required heavy lifting. The traditional guideline mandated lifting loads greater than 80% of a 1-repetition maximum. However, demanding that older demographics lift at an 80% threshold introduces severe cardiovascular strain and a high risk for joint injury. Is extreme mechanical stress biologically mandatory to maintain structural youth, or is there a safer, equally effective pathway? The answer lies in a 2015 meta-analysis by Sapo and Allegre, which examined resistance training protocols specifically in elderly populations. Looking at this flowchart from the study, the researchers filtered over 1,900 published articles down through strict exclusion criteria to a highly controlled subset of just 15 studies. They analyzed 2 distinct comparison groups, a heavy load group training at approximately 80% of their maximum, and a light moderate load group training at roughly 45%. Without controlling for other variables, the heavy load group showed a slight statistical edge for strength gains, posting an effect size of 0.430. But earlier studies relied on a flawed assumption. They had failed to account for the total mechanical work performed by the subjects. Total mechanical work is determined by a simple equation: the number of sets multiplied by the number of repetitions multiplied by the load lifted. The researchers isolated the data to only include work-matched studies. By ensuring both groups performed the same total mechanical work, the effect size gap between heavy and moderate loads narrowed significantly, dropping to 0.297. Utilizing moderate loads at 45% of your maximum, but increasing the volume to 15 or more repetitions per set, yields statistically comparable muscle preservation. When you combine these volume-matched moderate load training blocks with shorter 72-hour fasts, you create an environment that successfully spares lean mass while safely burning visceral fat. Preserving your structural biological age does not require joint-destroying weights. It simply requires a consistent volume of mechanical work. By combining these 2 pillars, we arrive at a unified longevity protocol, an alternating cycle of targeted catabolic stress and optimized anabolic stimulus. Think of this protocol as a biological dashboard. The first dial is your GKI. By driving the Glucose-Ketone Index down between 1.0 and 3 cranone during a fast, you trigger the body's internal recycling systems. The second dial is your mechanical work volume. Maintaining a steady baseline of volume-matched 45% load training performs the necessary maintenance on your muscle strength. To ensure this protocol is actually working, we need an objective validation tool, the DEXA scan. Using a standard bathroom scale to track your weight is an ineffective method for auditing longevity. It cannot distinguish between water, muscle, and fat. The true success metric comes from the DEXA data. We want to verify that visceral fat mass is actively decreasing while your lean mass remains perfectly stable. Add in measurements for VO2 max and insulin sensitivity, and the biological age dashboard is complete. Mastering biological age is an exercise in systems engineering. It relies on balancing these interconnected, objective data points, rather than guessing based on diet trends. Chronological age is an obsolete metric. It limits our understanding of human potential and physiological capacity. By merging the biochemistry of autophagy with precise mechanical load management, the aging process becomes clear and manageable. The aging process is a quantifiable engineering problem that can be systematically managed through precise biological and mechanical inputs.